Hello, my name is Voya and welcome to My Deep Guide and really cool news because Supernote A5X2 or Manta has been announced yesterday, I guess, at the time when this video comes out, and we have just a little bit of sneak previews, and in the meantime I've also received a couple of images so that I'm going to share with you how the device looks like. So I'll share with you what I know so far, and the additional bit of news as well is the confirmation that the Supernote A5X2 is actually already on its way to me. Once the Supernote A5X2 does arrive to me, you have to take into consideration that in Norway the postal service during the normal times is really slow and meh, and during holidays it's just bah. So even though this is sent via DHL, it gets to Norway really quickly, but once it's in Norway it goes handed over to a local courier, and then things can take a long time. So hopefully I will receive the device sometime next week, maybe. But either way, once I do receive it, I will make the unboxing and first impressions, and I will prioritize that so I can share it with you guys as soon as possible. And now let's check out the material that we have so far from Ratta regarding the Supernote A5X2 or the Manta. Alright, and let's start with just the short tiny teaser that they have released for the Supernote A5X2 called the Manta. Supposedly that is because they took the inspiration of the design, those two little nostrils that manta rays have. That's how they chose to resolve the issue of combining the thinness of the edges of the design and having the power button and the USB button. So I guess that's where the inspiration comes from. Now the video itself doesn't really reveal too much, but it's a teaser. I've received a lot more information from them directly, and here's basically what they share regarding the Supernote A5X2. So the new design is a sleek. Overall it's 6 millimeters. I guess it's the thickest point, and thinnest edges are 3.6 millimeters. It's light. Overall weight reduction with half folio device plus half folio is 467 grams. The device itself is only 375 grams. So that is actually quite a good weight for a device of this size. Then they say clear, but I guess that's screen, because it's 10.7 inch 300 ppi monochromatic without the front light. It is durable, drop tested with flexible screen, scratch resistant with Feel Right 2 recovery soft film, sustainable modular design, which is a signature of their redesigned new model. So both the Nomad A6X2 had that modular design, and the Manta also kind of continues that tradition because it has upgradable motherboard, replaceable battery, and expandable storage via the micro SD card slot. It's practical with dual slide bars, attachable pen loop, stable foot pads, and a top charging port. So all of the stuff, or most of the stuff that we've come to appreciate with the A6X2 should be included in the design of the A5X2 as well. Then they are talking about inherent Supernote's uniqueness. Write naturally, Feel Right 2, self-recovery soft film, ceramic never replace nibs, minimal nib to ink distance. Yeah, but that the Feel Right 2 self-recovery soft film does actually add thickness to that distance. Manta further reduces the nib to ink distance by 0.12 millimeters. That's going to be interesting to see. Then we have front light free, meaning it doesn't have a front light. Organize magically. Structure via headlines or headings, index via keywords, connect via links. And this is truly one of the strongest points of the Supernote platform. Office friendly, transfer files via thumb drive or local Wi-Fi. That is also a really cool thing because it has a very easy to use direct Wi-Fi transfer connection. Offline real-time handwriting recognition, also a really handy feature for the Supernote platform. Efficient gestures, dual sidebars, two-finger gesture eraser, undo and redo shortcut. Sketch professionally, Atelier application. Yeah, but they need to fix some of the stability issues with the Atelier. Stationary Beauty, Heart of Metal 2 with luxury fountain pen flare, push-up pen with retractable mechanism, seamless workflow, sync email, Word, calendar, to do, all optimized and integrated. Yeah, email does work, but it was kind of slowish. Word, it's so basic that yeah, it needs massive restructuring to make that fit into the category seamless workflow. Calendar, yeah, and the to-do list, yeah. Then we have dimensions that you can see here, the thickness we've talked about, the weight we've talked about. That's with pen loop, and I guess pen loop is detachable. Then we have 10.7-inch flexible e-ink screen. So that is a really important point here, because I am very curious to see how does the Feel Right feel on top of a flexible Carta screen. So that's going to be cool to kind of see and feel the writing experience of that. We have 300 ppi, which again, really positive development here. Then we have front light free. I personally prefer that. There are going to be people who are going to say like, nope, not for me, which is fine. Palm rejection, yes, it does have palm rejection, but it also has some issues with palm rejection, which has gotten improved over time. But on each new device, they need to do the calibration and see how it actually works. So we'll see how Manta or A5X2 actually works with palm rejection, because traditionally that is not really a strong point of the Supernote platform. Then we have Feel Right 2 self-recovery soft film for natural writing. It's a personal preference, not really something that I prefer, but maybe with a flexible screen is something that I might grow to like. That's why I'm interested to try it out. 32 gigabytes of internal storage, with the system taking up some space, and it's expandable via the micro SD card up to 2 terabytes. Then we have 3600 milliamp battery, which is replaceable. The SoC is the, I guess, Rockwell 3566 quad-core 1.8 gigahertz upgradable motherboard, which is very interesting, because what does that actually mean for the longevity of the system? Does that mean that maybe then you will have like a motherboard for A5X2 Pro or something like that? I'm just spitballing here, but I'm also trying to kind of give you an inkling into the power of the modularity of the design here, because they're just launching this kind of thing, and now, yeah, basically you have this casing, you have the screen, which hopefully works well for your needs, and then if you need this device to actually be faster or maybe different, you can just pop it open and put in a new motherboard or replace the battery and things like that. So really powerful concept here that doesn't actually have a competitor currently on the market, and it's a really good thing to see that we finally have that coming to market in a 10.7-inch format in this case. Then we have 4 gigs of RAM, connectivity is USB-C, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, okay. Then we have pre-installed Chauvet specialized designed Android 11 based system. Then we have supported file formats, languages, partner apps, and the contents of the box. So those are the specs and basically the noteworthy things regarding the A5X2. And they've sent over a couple of photos as well, real world photos, so let's check those as well. And I'm simply gonna go quickly through these photos and just comment what I see from these photos, and we can see how the device looks like. And let's just see how it compares. Okay, so we have the half folio over here, which is really reminiscent of the how we've seen it on the Pen Star E-Note. So it remains to be seen how well it flips back and how easy it is to put the half folio on and off from the device itself, because that was really fiddly with the Pen Star E-Note. And I can see that we have latches here, and here, so we have got 4 of them. And depending on how the magnets have been arranged, because I assume that there's going to be magnetic forces involved in holding this half cover to the device, but we'll see how it actually navigates the cover into the place and if that works well or not. Then we get this Manta design that they're talking about, which I personally actually quite like that type of a thing. To me, it's aesthetically pleasing. It's interesting. It's a nice silhouette, and it's a little bit different. It breaks the mold of traditional type of like just a boring little brick. It has some shapes. It has some curves, and I guess it's going to be a matter of personal taste. But to me personally, this is something that I actually like. You can see the distance from the screen that it actually looks fairly good, but not really as good as it is on the Quaderno, for example. But I guess nothing is gonna get close to Quaderno because that thing is like ridiculous. But still, it's gonna be interesting to measure that out. So obviously for working people, for people who study and all that kind of stuff, I really like that they didn't go the route of metal alloys and glass. That's, again, I guess a personal preference, but to me, I feel so much more free when I have a device that is plastic and flexible and durable, and that is definitely what this design actually looks like it may be. Especially when you have curves and lightweight, that's something that's less rigid. It has more where forces to go if it falls and things like that. So yeah, so far those are the images. It looks nice. It's minimalistic, but it's a little bit more improved. It's not symmetrical on the top and bottom, so that's a little bit meh, because if you want to actually use it in landscape format, then you do have a little bit of width there. And this is how it looks like when it's all together. And there we go on the back with the upgradable motherboard, expandable storage here, and the battery over there. And yep, right, for those who write, it's framed, it's in a box, it's in your lap. There we go, anti-skid pads. Cool. I like that. That's one of the things that was missing on the A6X2, and we have it now on the A5X2. So that's kind of cool. And I like to see the simplicity of a white background and their gray kind of logo. Looks kind of nice. I don't know. It just looks simple and nice. Pen loop. I actually like that if it holds nicely to the device, and I can see that they're not using magnetic forces for the pen loop, which is great. They're actually using screws here from what I can see. Yeah, these look maybe screws, maybe not, maybe magnets. We'll see. But it's going to be interesting to see how that pen loop is held with the device, because the way I like to use it is exactly as they show it here, that the top is always in the pen loop, and I just take the pen out of the cap. Okay, so then we have this, and more of the same. There we go, landscape format. That's what I was talking about. I wish that it was equal with left and right, because that kind of throws off the equilibrium a little bit, but okay, that's how it is. And then we have, oh no, somebody's gonna sit on it. No, it actually, I like the simplicity of the design. It's simple but interesting, and that kind of works for me, especially these two little curves and the little anti-skid parts. And I don't know, something about the design is just that from the images alone, at the least, it works for me. It just kind of makes sense. It clicks. All right, so those are the images that they've sent, and they also sent out a couple of reference videos to see how to open and close the back of the device where the internals are, the replaceable internals. So let's just cover that quickly. And again, nothing fancy, just a really raw type of video, just showing you how to remove the back. And I guess it has those plastic latches like you've had on the regular Supernote A5X2. So you unlatch it, you pull it down, and here's the internals. And we got the motherboard, SD card, a battery. And reattaching should be the other way around. So you basically put the slots back in there so that they slot into here, I guess. Then push in until it fits. And I guess then here is just to press in latches until they all fit. Yeah, that one. Okay, so there's a latch that you have to push. Doesn't seem too kind of straightforward. It seemed a little bit fiddly. We will see how that actually is in reality when an average user takes it and tries to kind of use it and deal with it. Oh, there seems to be like a physical latch here as well, maybe for the half cover, so maybe they're going with both physical and magnetic forces. I don't know, we'll see, but that looks like a latch for the half cover. Yeah, who knows? Well, okay, so that's the Supernote A5X2. The wait is officially over. The product has been announced and they are shipping it out to reviewers. So that is most definitely good news. Now, as far as my first impressions go, well, not much has actually changed since the first images and things like that. There's a couple of important things that still remain for me. First of all, for me, is that 10.7 300 ppi screen. That is a really important thing, but as a really interesting cherry on top is that it's actually not the glass HD Carta, but that it's the flexible Carta screen. So that, I think, could be a very interesting combination with the Feel-Right 2. So I'm really eager to test that out and see how that feels. A second thing that I really love is that it's an all plastic, thin, light type of a design that definitely becomes a device that you, at least I, feel a lot more comfortable to use on a day-to-day basis than a heavier metal alloy glass type of a combination of a device. Third thing that I didn't really expect is that the design that they've made is something that, although simple, there is something about it that just clicks with me. I do like those curves. I do like those little bumps and all the intricacies of the shape. It's not just a brick, there's a little bit more to it. It's interesting. And the fourth and final one, it's super tiny, but I really like that, and that is that it has the anti-skid pads. Okay, so those are my takes and my impressions. I'm interested to hear what are your takes and your impressions regarding the Supernote A5X2 Manta. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and see you in the next video. Bye!